Hi everyone, and welcome back to 417 Fox. Today we're going to talk about the best and the worst aftermarket wheels that you can put on your Fox body. When I talk about aftermarket, we're going to look at aftermarket wheels with fitment options from all the way from 79 to 2004 to go on your Fox Body Mustang. Yeah, that's right. I am including 94 to 2004 size and offsets because many folks have upgraded their car and done a 5-lug swap. And you'll see many of these wheels on your Fox Body Mustangs. Let's get right to it. You might want to go ahead and head out now because, I see some folks get their feelings hurt about what wheels they might have on their car. And guys, really, to be honest with you, my opinion doesn't count for a whole lot, and this is just for fun. But if your feelings do get hurt easy, you might want to rethink watching this video. So we're going to start this off with the 5 best aftermarket wheels and the 5 worst aftermarket wheels for your Fox Body Mustang. Also, I've got an extra category at the end. It's kind of a category that doesn't fit stock or aftermarket. A lot of you guys know where I'm going with that. So stick around to the end. You'll see that. Plus, I'll give you an update on my weight loss journey. Starting off with number 5, which is one of my favorites, is the original Pony R by Mavermont. They actually made the cars in multiple sizes, multiple widths, a couple of different finishes. Because I don't know what it is about the pony wheel, but it being in a 17-inch and being staggered, whew, I mean, you guys already know I love 16-inch factory pony wheels. But when you put them in a 17-inch and you go ahead and put them in a staggered format on a Fox body, man, I love that wheel. And that's why it makes my number 5. Number 4 will probably surprise a lot of you guys. It's actually, if you watch the last video on the stock wheels, it's a wheel that made it on my worst list for stock wheels. Isn't it amazing how when you can take a wheel that was really, in my opinion, just overused and overdone in a 4-lug, when you put it on your Fox body, it just didn't work, in my opinion. But you take this wheel and you put it in a staggered size, say 8.5 up front, 10-inch on the back, and you do 18-inch. That's right, boys. It's the Cobra R. And I put those on the two-tone Cobra clone, or better known as the FBC, that I built for my good buddy Nick, and that made me a believer. He'll tell you, if you ever ask Nick and you see him at a car show, when Nick told me he wanted to put those wheels on that car, I said, no, not Cobra R's. Those wheels made me a believer in how well those wheels can look in that form, and that's why they made it my number 4. Number 3 was the ROH ZR6 wheel. Now, back in the day, even back in high school, I had a friend of mine who was a Fox Mustang, had a beautiful white Mustang GT that had these wheels on it in 17-inch. I wasn't a big fan of them in the 16-inch, but in 17-inch, those deep dish, I think they're at least 9 inches wide. And man, that just really made that car look good, and that was one of the best looking wheels you could put on your Fox back in the day, and those wheels still look great on cars today. And my number 2 pick is actually a wheel that I'm seriously considering putting on my 417 Fox, and it is the 18-inch reimagined Cobra wheel from the 93 Cobra in an 18-inch form with a smooth lip. Man, these things look amazing, and I love them. They're not my number 1, but the problem is I can't find wheels that are my number 1 pick. They're just not out there. You can't find them. They're not remade anymore. And I do love those 18-inch Cobra Reimagined wheels that Maker's Garage is putting together right now. I think they're still taking pre-orders. They have nothing to do with this video. I kind of follow them on Instagram, and I've really been debating on going ahead and ponying up the money and getting me a set order myself. And my number 1 pick is a wheel that I can't ever find, but I love these wheels, and I've wanted a set for a long time, and I know they're going to cost me dearly if I ever find a set, and that is the BBS RKs. Those wheels in an 18-inch staggered setup, I don't know if I've ever seen a better looking wheel on a Fox Body Mustang. They just fit perfect in my opinion. John Brooks has the car that's famously known as Dale. which is an orange coupe. It's actually an 87 coupe that's been a 4i swap. It is an amazing car. Seen that car in person. And to hear him tell me the story about how he got those RKs for his car so dang cheap, I don't even want to talk about it. John, I love that car. You know it, buddy. But that's also why those are my #1 pick, and one of these days I'll find me a set. And if you've watched this long of the video and you aren't already subscribed to this channel, make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up if you like it, and also shoot a comment down below. I really appreciate that. All right, now the fun really begins. Let's talk about the ugliest, or what I call the worst, 5 for your Fox Body Mustang. And this was one that also stems from my history, and I can't get away from my past because I'm tainted by it. And this was a common option that you've seen on your Fox Body back in the day. And you also seen this same style of wheel, because this style of wheel was not exclusive to just the Fox Body, and there were a couple of different versions of it, but everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say centerline. I could not stand a centerline, whether it be chrome or polished aluminum wheel on a Fox Body. Again, I'm tainted by my past. I'll give you an example of that. When I bought the 86 Mustang GT from Matt, that car actually had center lines on it, and I said, you can keep them. I don't want them. That's why they were my #5. #4. This is kind of a weird thing for me, and it's kind of one of my pet peeves, and I don't know why it is, but it's just one of those things that I just cringe when I see it. Any wheel that is a multi-lug pattern that you've put on your Fox Body, I don't care what design it is. I've seen good looking wheels, and if they've got that multi-lug pattern on it, I'm out. Done. That's why those are my #4. #3, just can't do it. It's not my style, and I don't like them. Well, look, I just can't get down with the wire wheels on a Fox Body. And I think those wheels look cool on certain cars, especially when you look at some of your awesome low riders that are on hydraulics or air ride. Back in the day, you look at like your 60s Impalas and that kind of stuff. Man, that fits. But then you take those wheels and you put them on a Fox, just can't hang. Just can't. And #2, this just might hurt some feelings. So I'm going to start this off with a caveat. This is really only for the guy that's running around with the stock car that has the 6-inch cowl on it, and it's all stock, and he has big and littles on his car. I don't know why that bothers me so much, and I just don't like the style and the look of big and littles on any car. It's just not my style. It's not my preference. And especially when you got your car that really don't need big and littles. And if that's your style and that's what you want, then that's fine. But I'm just giving you my opinion. But big and littles, just can't do it. I can't. It's also kind of like what I think. If you got anything more than a 2-inch cowl hood on your hood, you better have something underneath that hood that supports needing a 4 or 6-inch cowl. Now, I get the design aspect where some people like that look, but for me, it's just kind of one of those pet peeves I've got. I mean, I'm just being honest with you guys, and I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but big and littles, they're my #2 worst. And #1, and I just happened to see a post, the Infamous Project. I've seen his post where he's actually getting ready to put 19s, and I'm not saying that 19s won't work on a Fox, but my opinion is anything over an 18-inch typically just doesn't look right on a Fox Body. Now, maybe he might change my mind when he puts those 19s on his car. I'll be watching that video. If you guys haven't checked out the Infamous Project, you're going to want to watch yourself. But when I seen that, and I seen that wheel next to his car on his Instagram post, I was like, he may sway me a little bit. I already had this list from last week, and I seen this post after the fact. And this list, I sit down and I did my research and I put it together, and that was always one of my also pet peeves, is anything over an 18-inch Fox Body just doesn't look right. Maybe he'll change my mind, but that is my 5 worst. Now I've got a pretty cool little category for you. So with all those comments from the last video, a lot of folks happened to mention the Saleens. And they were like, well, it was a stock wheel, but it wasn't a Ford wheel. It was made by Saleen. Saleen was considered its own manufacturer. And those were kind of a category where it doesn't really fit into the aftermarket, it doesn't really fit into the stock. Saleen's kind of its own thing. But what kind of video would this be if I didn't include some best and worst of the Saleen wheels, right? So here we go. All right, guys, we're going to have actually a top 3. It's kind of more of a top 2, but we'll call it a top 3 and just the bottom 1 for the Saleens. So we'll go ahead and start off with my number 3, and that is actually going to be your 18-inch Saleens that come on like your later SN95 cars and your new Edge cars. I love those. You see a ton of them. You see them on the Fox Chambers car. Those wheels in an 18-inch on a Fox, they look good. I love those wheels. They're going to be my number 3. And number 2 and number 3 are real similar. Number 2 is actually going to be the Sterns. Those are 17-inch, 8-inch up front, 9-inch back, one piece. Those were some really good looking 5-spoke wheels that are a unique design that you still see in the aftermarket today. LMR reproduces them in the Saleen SC style. So that's why that one piece design is going to make it to my number 2. They're an amazing looking wheel that is a wheel I'm actually considering putting on the 86 car. And number 1, I like it because of the coolness. I like it because of the rarity, but it is the Saleen Stern. It is the 3-piece wheel. It is a super rare wheel that they put on like your 10th anniversary SA10s and then your SC cars, later cars that were the SC cars. That was an amazing wheel. It was truly a rare option and a very expensive option to have a true 3-piece wheel. And that's why they make it to my number 1. So I might as well end this video off onto some controversy. My worst wheel, and you see them on a lot of Fox Body Mustangs, is the Saleen wheel that you've seen typically, I think, mostly on your 87 to 89 cars. They were the 16-inch staggered mesh. Yeah. I'm kind of one of those guys to where if that's the wheel that came on the car, then I'm okay with it, but I don't like it on anything else other than the wheel that car was intended to have from the factory. Say, for example, like the white Saleen with the blue accents with the white mesh wheels. Man, I love that. And I wouldn't take them off of it because that's the wheels that came on it. But when you take that wheel and you put it on a Fox and it wasn't originally on that car, I don't like them. I don't know why. So that's why it's my worst in the Saleens. Well, guys, this video has been a lot of fun giving you guys my opinion, which means nothing, but it's still a lot of fun to talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, hit that thumbs up, shoot me a comment. I really appreciate it. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, and if you guys are interested, I'm done with the car content. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my weight loss update. Alright boys, so as of today's video is actually filming this on the 24th of January. This video will go out on the 25th of January. So I weighed this morning. I wasn't real happy with the results, and I kind of thinking like, well, I've been eating right. I really haven't been doing any exercise, but I've been eating right. And I picked up these keto snacks at Walmart, and you know, there's something sweet that you can have because you start really kind of wanting something sweet. And I'm not even a big sweet eater. I'm a biscuits and gravy kind of guy, but I was like, oh, you know, I want something sweet. And then they say on the package like 3 grams net carbs, and I'm really trying to stay under 15 grams. Well, I didn't look on the back of the package, and I've only been eating one a day, but these things are like 16 and 18 total grams of carbs. So I think this might be what threw me off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those things out and go right back to strict, making sure I am staying under the 15 grams of carbs per day. So we'll see. Now the good news is I still lost. I just didn't lose as much as I hoped to have lost. So here's where I'm at as of today. I weighed this morning and it was 290 pounds, which puts me 2 pounds for the week, and that is still 16 pounds since the get-go. I got 16 pounds. I guess I can't sneeze at that. It's still a good weight, and I'm going to go ahead and really strive to do better this week. I do have some traveling to do. It's a little harder to eat right when you travel, but I'm going to do my best. And next Monday, hopefully, go ahead and get to where I'm at least down 20 pounds total. So guys, next Monday, I guess we'll see. I'm going to cut out a lot of those keto snacks, really limit myself on any of those carbs. And hopefully next Monday, that'll be proof in the results, and I'm down at least by 20 pounds total. We'll see. But until then, guys, I really appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys on the next video.